Imagine YSL myself getting a sweet, spicy upgrade. That's a linked freedom. What's good, guys? Hunter here and welcome back to Fragrance Hunter. Hope you're all doing good. Today in my hands is one of the newest fragrances from Afnan that I think is gonna take off and just go viral, guys. And it is, of course, linked freedom, which I'm so excited about this review because this one right here is seriously gonna be something special. Especially if you love the myself DNA, but maybe wanted a sweeter, spicier, sexier take on it, which I sure do. That's in this bottle, which I don't know about you, but man, Afnan is going crazy lately with the releases, guys. They are not missing at all. I mean, this year alone, Afnan and Zamaya are completely taken over with the releases. Now, I do want to shout out Afnan for sending linked freedom over for review. Of course, I'll still keep it honest. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. You guys know the drill. But before we get in the review, are you looking forward to this one? Are you picking it up? Because believe me, after this review, you might just want to. Now let's run down some information. So of course, Linked Freedom was launched in 2025. It's brand spanking new, hot off of the shelves. For the retail price, only size this one comes in, which is the 100 ml, is gonna run you roughly around 50 bucks, give or take. And that's at retail, which is an insanely good price tag. If you want to get it from Afnan, you can actually use code HUNTER15 to save 15% off of that. And you already know, I'll leave a tag down below where you can get this one at as well. Now for the concentration, Linked Freedom is going to be an eau de parfum, so you're getting roughly around 20% oils, which as we know, is very potent. And for the perfumer, it's the man himself, Imran Fazlani, which I believe is like the in-house perfumer for like Afnan, Zamaya, etc. And of course, if he's making these fragrances, he has a huge resume. Now, with all the information out of the way, how about we look at the packaging and presentation you get with Linked Freedom now? All right, taking a look at this beautiful box presentation, guys. This stuff is huge and very high quality. Of course, you got Afnan with the logo, Linked Freedom Afnan Eau de Parfum. On the bottom, you got your batch code and QR code. Then on the back, all your information and barcode to authenticate product to see when it was actually produced with Afnan up top. And you open it up like so. And your bottle is actually housed in this foam cutout sideways, which is kind of different. And I just noticed you also got your note breakdown right there as well, man. Beautiful box presentation, of course. Now taking a look at this bottle, guys, I got to admit, this might be the best looking Afnan bottle there is. I love the aesthetic. Of course, it's black plaque with Linked Freedom Afnan. A Cuban link cap, guys. I love Cuban links, so I think that looks awesome. On the bottom, you got your plaque with all your information as well. Nothing on the back. Afnan on top of this cap, which is, by the way, very heavy. Afnan on top of the atomizer, and it does click into place extremely securely. Beautiful bottle presentation. In the top, you got grapefruit, bergamot, and sage. In the mid, you got that lavender, cardamom, and juniper berry. And in the base, you're gonna find oriental notes, vetiver, and caramel. This will be classified as a citrus aromatic. So let's spray this, test out these atomizers, guys. Not the best atomizer, unfortunately. It's not pressurized, but hey, it still gets the job done at the end of the day, believe me. So let's remind myself of the brand new Linked Freedom, and I'm gonna let you guys do that first sniff. Now, right away in the opening, you are of course going to get that very familiar bergamot, very similar to the bergamot you find in myself. It's very fresh, clean, and citrusy. However, though, Afnan adds this note of grapefruit, guys. One of my favorite citrusy kind of fruity notes in perfumery as well, guys. Beautiful, sparkling, juicy, fruity grapefruit mixed with the bergamot. And then of course, alongside those, you do have this aromatic touch from sage. Now this is going to be an aromatic citrusy fragrance, especially from like the top and mid. And of course, far more complex of something like myself. This is almost a hybrid between YSL myself and Azaro the Most Wanted. So you get the spicy, oriental, seductive nature from the Most Wanted, and you get that fresh kind of clean vibe from myself thrown into Linked Freedom. But oh my goodness, is this one of the best takes on the myself genre of fragrances, guys, hands down. Linked Freedom is seriously the real deal, guys. The opening is outstanding. I will say though, this one even smells far better on skin than on a tester, because when I first got this in, I spread it on a tester. I was like, oh wow, that's very similar to myself. Didn't even know what this was inspired by at the time, but that was the first thing that popped in my head. When I applied on my skin though, things completely changed. Now, as we make our way into the mid, you're gonna get this very aromatic, creamy, slightly spicy lavender. Love lavender, obviously, guys, one of my favorite florals of all time. Mixed with this slightly fruity, aromatic juniper with a burst of this spicy, seductive cardamom. Now, the cardamom is one of the strongest notes in this one. The guys, like I said, it gives off this spicy, seductive, sexy nature to it. The cardamom is very similar to the cardamom you find in the Most Wanted as well. So it's, like I said, a hybrid between myself and the Most Wanted. And then finally in the base is actually what shocked me the most, because this one turns very, very oriental and sweet. Of course, you're gonna get a bunch of the spicy oriental notes thrown into the dry down, mixed together with a heavy dose of this kind of gooey, sweet caramel note, guys. On skin, the caramel came out so much, and I love the sweetness it provided. And it really took me by surprise. I was not expecting that, because this fragrance is both fresh and clean, but also spicy and sweet. And the top, mid, and base are all fantastic how this fragrance develops, but I think that dry down really won me over, guys. And that's exactly why I can see Linked Freedom completely taken off from Afnan. To me, this fragrance literally smells like the better looking brother to myself that actually pulls women. Because picture in your head a sexier take on myself, this is it right here in my hands, guys, by far. So for the best seasons to rock Linked Freedom, this one's very versatile. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. It does not matter the kind of weather outside, Linked Freedom is going to work for you, just like YSL myself, guys. One of the best clean, signature scent worthy fragrances when it comes to designers, easily. This one's no different, but it's gonna give you a sexy edge all year. Because like I said, it's fresh, citrusy, and clean for spring and summer, but it's also spicy, oriental, and sweet for the fall and winter. And when it comes to occasion as well, guys, both casual and formal, it does not matter what you're doing either, guys. You'll be able to rock this one, whether you're going to like a date in the morning, a date in the evening time, which this one's gonna shine. You're either going to work, you're going to a job interview, you're going to maybe a wedding, you're going to possibly even the gym, it might work too. So that pretty much sums it up, guys. All occasions, casual and formal with Linked Freedom. Also with gender, this one's obviously very much masculine, guys. I do not picture a woman rocking this. And it's funny too, because when it comes to myself, that's always been a very much unisex scent profile, because myself is very similar to YSL Libre for women, and it's just always smelled unisex. This is a masculine, sexy, seductive take on myself, guys, that leans, like I said, on the masculine side of things. So I guess a more masculine myself, a sexier myself, and just a better myself with the scent profile. And when it comes down to age groups, guys, also both youthful and mature. It does not matter if you're in your late teens, you can rock this. It does not matter if you're in like 40s and up, you can rock this also. So I love when a fragrance is very versatile, especially in age groups, because a lot of times some things can lean very fun, playful, and juvenile, but also things can lean very mature, elegant, and classy. This one, it literally does not matter who you are, what age you are, you can rock Linked Freedom without even questioning it. Because I could probably see the younger audience, like late teens, early 20s, really gravitating towards this one, guys. But also the older audience, if you like myself, you wanted something different, you wanted something more masculine and sexier, this is your go-to right here now. So wrapping the review off, talking on the performance I got from the Linked Freedom. So I've worn this one, of course, I've tested it, etc. Now my skin, guys, I got slightly above average performance with 10 hours of longevity. That's on skin. Of course, like I always say, if you apply your clothes, you'll get a few hours longer. So not a weak fragrance at all. It's absolutely going to be stronger than at least the OG Myself EDP, that's for sure. And to be honest, when I got this one in, it absolutely performed better than I expected it to when I first smelled it. I'm telling you, the oriental spices and that caramel sweet dry down make this one last a very long time. So we're going to easily get you through like an 8-hour work shift throughout the majority of the day, and you don't have to reapply it unless you really wanted to. And also when it comes down to projection, about average, moderate projection from the Linked Freedom, which means it will push off the skin, of course, maybe about an arm's length of distance for the first few hours. So whoever's going to be around you within like your arm's length of distance, they're going to smell you, and that's just standing still. Of course, if you're walking around, the scent trail, the scent sillage you leave behind you is so good, guys. It's probably going to captivate anybody you walk in front of, pass by, they're going to be like, wow, that guy smells really good. This fragrance kind of just demands attention. You're going to smell like him while rocking it, which of course, what guy doesn't love that, right? So yeah, above average 10 hours of solid longevity with about moderate projection from a Linked Freedom. And I don't know about you, but that's very reasonable, because it's not going to be a close scent bubble, scent skin type of DNA, but it's also not really going to fill up an entire room and be beast mode. But of course, not every fragrance is going to perform over 12 hours and fill up an entire stadium. But that's gonna do it for my review of the brand new Afnan Lynked Freedom. Are you guys hyped about this release? Are you picking it up? What are your thoughts on it if you already tried it? I'm very curious if you agree with this review or not, because personally, I think this might be one of the best Afnan releases of 2025. But of course, besides that, leave a like on the video, subscribe below if you haven't already, because what are you doing, bro? I got you with daily fragrance content. Of course, I'm gonna catch all of you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody.